It's not a BBL that gives you no tax on tips. It's the BBB, or the Trump Tax Act, whatever you're calling it. My name is Paul Vasquez with Tax Lab, and you need to become an ethical millionaire. If you do not get tips, or pay tips, or anything like that, then this video is not for you. You can scroll away. You can go back to your everyday life because this doesn't apply to you. So we're talking no tax on tips. Let's see what the rules say. Right here, Chapter 2, delivering on presidential priorities to provide, some alliteration, new middle class tax relief. Section 70201, no tax on tips. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of provisos and limitations on this. So if you think it's just a free reign of, hey, let me change all my income into tip income and not be taxed on it, yeah, you're going to get in trouble. So let's learn what the rules say so you can get the tax benefit without putting yourself in a position where you're committing tax fraud, because they have a tendency to look at that as a federal crime. So the first part says that you can take a dollar for dollar deduction on your income when you're reporting that tip income, right? You have to report it, and then they say it's not taxable up to $25,000. There's your limit. Now, you still have to report the rest of it, even if you're taxed on that above the $25,000. So if you're good at your job and you're raking in the tips, guess what? If it's over $25,000, you can only write off the tip income up to that point. Now, there is a total income cap on this too. Let's take a look. So here's section 224, qualified tips. And if you see right here, they talk about that shall not. Ooh, wow. They're using some old English here. Shall not exceed $25,000. Now, the next, they talk about an income limitation. So right here, let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit here. So if you are a single filer and you total income, modified adjusted gross income, so on a tax return where it says adjusted gross income, what they refer to as AGI, right? If that exceeds $150,000 for an individual, or if you're married filing jointly, $300,000, then they're going to reduce this $25,000 limit by $100 for every $1,000 over, and that pop-up I'm sure is great in some instances, over $150,000. So if you don't make over $150,000 individually or together over $300,000, not to worry about that little limitation. It's only going to kick in at that point. You're still at that $25,000 limit. So keep earning those tips anyways. Hey, 25 grand, that's pretty good. Now, fair warning, that doesn't mean the state is going to follow suit. So even though now you're reporting that on your federal tax return as income, your state may not follow the federal guidelines. So now some of you who may have been not reporting your income tips, and you're thinking this is going to give you a free ride, at least for $25,000 on the federal level, but then on the state level, you could be taxed on that income, where before, when you were not reporting it, even though you should have, you are. If you're doing it this tax year, it's optional to take advantage of this rule. In 2025 or 2026, it's no longer optional. You have to report those tips. You have to. and I'll show you that. So right here, effective date. We're still in this section. I just scrolled down to get to it quickly. So effective date beginning after December 31st, 2024. So 2025, this year, you can start doing this. Here's where it gets a little meaner, right? And it says, in the case of any cash tips required to be reported for periods before January 1st, 2026, persons required to file. So it's not optional. And they go in here and they say that it's not just credit card and what's processed. The credit card processors are going to be sending this out based on what they see on their end. They have to send you this report, but that does not exclude cash received. They specifically say you still have to report the cash received, and they're basically saying here that you legally have to. So if they find out you're skipping on those cash tips, what you need to do is report your cash tips. Put something on there that you received some cash tips. I would, so that way it's less likely that they say, oh, this person only received credit card tips. They're more likely to challenge that than if you are reporting some cash tips. You should report all your cash tips, but I would imagine that the likelihood of the IRS's AI flagging it if there's just credit card tips on there is a lot higher than if you're reporting your cash tips as well. And of course, like many of these provisions, you have to have a valid Social Security number. If you're married filing jointly and one of the spouses does not have a Social Security number, that's okay as long as one of you does. And remember, they're specifically saying in this that this actually has to be a tip, in that if service quality or anything else occurs because you did not receive the tip, then it's no longer considered a tip. It's going to be considered regular taxable income. So I don't know how they're going to police that. So we see every now and then these TikToks where a service provider gets angry because the tip's not big enough. That alone could possibly be grounds to have that not considered anymore as a tip, right? Because you're saying it is a required part of the purchase. So if you're claiming that a tip of any amount, of any variety, is a required part of the purchase, or they won't receive the same level of service had they not given that tip, then it's saying that's not a tip. That's just part of the cost of the service. So I don't know how they're going to police that. I don't know if they're I mean, really, they're not going to claim it, but maybe stop posting TikToks reprimanding those people, and stop letting their doorbells record you complaining about the tips, so they can see your face. Because guess what? If you go into irs.gov and try to access your account, now they want your picture. So, yeah. I'll do another video for those people who have service-based businesses that regularly get tips. You're not locked out. You can participate in this, but you need to follow the rules given your particular situation, and they have that here for you. If you had any value, found any value in this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, save it. Or if you need additional help just for you, go to lab.tax, click on advisory services for a free 15-minute video chat. I wish you all the success.